morning, friends. This video is meant for everybody. Embrace the changes for personal and organizational growth. It is very important, friends, to embrace the change. Change is the law of life, it is the law of nature. We often feel insecure and disappointed at the change that comes in our day to day life. It is very important to cope up with the changes, friends. Whether you are working in an organization, whether you are working in an institution, or whether you are working in any sort of corporate sector, there is bound to be an organizational change in the course of time. The organizational change or the change in the working culture of the employees puts a challenge for the managers and for the executives to execute the project into action. So friends, how we can really embrace the changes? For that, we are not going to underestimate the impact of an organizational change. Let us first understand why some changes are bound to happen. The world is moving fast. The pace of development of the world and the global scenario at in front of our eyes is changing every moment. And it is very important to understand that these changes are for a positive outcome, whether you are in an organization or whether you are in an institution or whether you are the head of a family. You will notice that some of the members of the family or some of the members of your organization may or might feel insecure and disappointed at the pace of the changes that is happening around them. They might struggle to comprehend about what is happening around them. It is the duty and responsibility of the organizational head or the institutional head to make this change happen. And before that, it is very important to inform about the changes, and also it is equally important to explain to the people you are working with why these changes have been taken into consideration. So it is important to communicate about the changes. We have to be very conscious of the pace of development, and we have to also see whether the employees or the people in the organizations are adapting to the change or not. If their reluctance to adapting the changes happens as a struggling block, we have to think about communicating with them and making them aware of why some choices have been made for the development and growth of the organization. Besides that, communication is the key to a healthy organization. During any phase of development, it is important to communicate to the employees or to the people you are working with and make them understand what is going on with the other, aspects of the organization, and why it is important to adapt the changes. Invite suggestions and allow them to communicate about their feedback. So create a culture of feedback among the people you are working with, and let us know what is their reaction, how they're reacting. Be open to any sort of resistance, even if they resist the changes. Be open to that. Explain to them why it is essential to adapt these changes. Never get defensive about those approaches and those ideas and perceptions that you are going to implement as a part of the change. Try to be transparent to each and every member of the employees or the family when such a situation arises, because transparency is the second key to success of an organization or of a family or of an institutions. So there is a strong link between transparency and communication. Once you are transparent about your approach to changes, or once you are transparent about your perception and ideas of growth and development, people will certainly communicate to you, and they will try to make their intention clear whether they are going to adapt it sooner or later. So keep your members of the employees informed about the changes. Provide the written updates or even messages about those changes, conduct meetings and seminars to make them aware of the changes. Don't just focus on answering the questions. Try allow them to question you about why these changes have been made and why these changes are essential. Explain why certain choices have been made, and also make the people comfortable about their responsibility, and it will definitely create a greater sense of commitment among your employees. So please be transparent, allow them to communicate, make them informed about the changes, and try always to create a link between what you are going to implement and what they are thinking. Present a timeline for a change, because once you present a timeline for a change to be adapted, definitely it will be a good idea and it will lead to some better results. So, friends, embracing the change is indispensable in life. M- Maybe our personal growth, or maybe it is organizational growth. The change is the law of nature. It has to be adapted, and it has to be kept in mind that every change is for a good reason, good cause, and it leads to development of an organization, of a family, of an institution, and more so, it also leads to the development of an individual's personality. And therefore, we should embrace the changes that occurs in our life or in our day-to-day happenings. And that is what I wanted to emphasize upon. Thank you. Have a nice day.